Let me tell you something today. You will never reach your full potential until you learn how to master your emotions. You can have the talent, the calling, the vision, and the anointing, but if you don't have control over your reactions, life will keep pulling you back like a rubber band stretched beyond its limit. Every time someone offends you, every time a situation frustrates you, every time something doesn't go your way, and you react, you give away a piece of your power. And the enemy doesn't need to destroy you if he can just distract you. He doesn't need to take your blessings. He just needs to make you too emotional to hold them. See, power doesn't panic, power doesn't overreact, power doesn't waste time on petty things. When you react emotionally to everything around you, you become like a puppet, controlled by strings you didn't even tie. One comment and you're angry, one delay and you're discouraged, one disagreement and you're ready to quit. That's not power, that's prison. Emotional slavery will have you riding a roller coaster you were never meant to ride. Up one day, down the next. Fired up today, burnt out tomorrow. And all because you haven't yet learned that silence can be strength and stillness can be strategy. Let them talk, let them walk, let the wind blow and the waves crash, but you stand still you plant your feet in peace and refuse to be moved. You don't have to answer every critic. You don't have to clap back at every insult. You don't have to defend your name when God already knows your heart. Some of the greatest victories are won in silence, not by swinging but by standing. The real sign of spiritual maturity isn't in how loudly you can shout, but how quietly you can stand. It's not in how fast you can react, but how faithfully you can endure. That's how you take back control, by refusing to let circumstances pull you out of character. When you stop reacting, the enemy gets confused. He expected you to break down, but you stood up. He expected you to snap, but you stayed calm. He expected you to fall apart, but you held it together. Why? Because you've learned the secret real strength is quiet. Real power is composed. Real control doesn't chase chaos. It commands peace. So guard your heart. Guard your mind. Don't let just anything and anyone rent space in your soul. The less you react, the more you rule. The less you explain, the more you elevate. This is your time to rise, not to rage. This is your moment to be still and know that control doesn't come from responding to the storm. It comes from trusting that you're bigger than the storm. When you react to nothing, you let your purpose do the talking. And baby, that's power. Let me speak into your spirit right now. Not every battle is your battle. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every challenge needs your energy. Some of us are exhausted, not because we're weak, but because we've been swinging at shadows, fighting in arenas God never called us into. You keep answering every critic, chasing every rumor, defending your every move, and wondering why you're spiritually drained. Baby, your strength is sacred. Your energy is expensive. And you cannot afford to keep investing it in things that don't push you closer to your destiny. The enemy loves to provoke you into pointless warfare. He knows he can't stop your calling, so he tries to distract your focus. He can't steal your anointing, so he tries to drain your attention. But hear this, you are too valuable to fight every fool that steps in your path. Some battles are bait. They look like a challenge, but they're really a trap. They're designed to pull you down from the wall you're building, to pull you out of your purpose and into a pit of drama and confusion. And every time you go down to fight what's beneath you, you delay what's ahead of you. It's time to stop showing up for arguments that don't deserve an answer. It's time to stop replying to messages that don't feed your purpose. You don't have to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't need to justify your journey to folks who weren't there when God gave you the vision. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them wonder. While they gossip, you grow. While they criticize, you climb. While they doubt, you develop. Because progress doesn't argue, it advances. You've got to learn how to discern. Is this a fight God told me to face, or a distraction the enemy sent to waste my time? Wisdom will have you walking away from what your ego wants to prove. Maturity will have you choosing peace over pride. Growth will make you realize that real warriors don't fight for attention, they fight for assignment. And when your assignment is clear, your priorities become sharper. You start protecting your peace like it's treasure. You stop casting your pearls before swine. You stop lending your ears to poison. You were born to build, not bicker. You are called to lead, not linger in low places. And if you're going to fulfill what's been spoken over your life, you have to learn the power of letting some things go. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's not fear, it's focus. When you stop engaging every little thing that comes to distract you, you reclaim your time, your mind, and your mission. So the next time chaos comes knocking, the next time somebody invites you into unnecessary drama, smile and walk away. Because you know something now. Not every battle is meant to be fought. Some are meant to be ignored. And in the silence of your restraint, your victory is already speaking. There is a power in silence that most people overlook. In a world that rewards loud opinions, instant reactions, and emotional outbursts, silence has become a lost art. But it is still a divine weapon. When you hold your peace in the face of chaos, when you keep your mouth closed while the world demands a response, you step into a realm of control that noise can never reach. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. And sometimes your silence can say more than your shouting ever could. There are moments in life when your greatest strength is found in your ability to stay still and listen not just to the world around you, but to the voice of wisdom within you. Because when you speak too soon, you might miss the lesson. When you respond too quickly, you might ruin the blessing. Sometimes God is working behind the scenes, setting up your victory, but your reaction can delay the breakthrough. That's why you've got to learn how to be quiet, not because you don't know what to say, but because you know it's not the time to say it. Don't let people pull you into a conversation that's beneath your calling. Don't let your emotions lead you into a war that silence could have won. There are people who will try to provoke you just to see if they can steal your peace. They want your reaction because your reaction gives them relevance. But when you stay silent, you keep your power. When you don't flinch, when you don't snap, when you don't engage, you confuse the enemy. Because he thought you'd break, he thought you'd explode, but instead you stood there calm, composed, and unmoved. Silence gives you space to think. It gives you time to pray. It gives you clarity. And when you have clarity, you move with purpose instead of panic. Don't let them rush you. Don't let the noise around you drown out the wisdom inside you. Some storms are designed to distract you with sound. But if you stay still, if you stay focused, if you stay grounded, you'll see the storm pass, and your path will remain clear. It takes more strength to say nothing than to say the wrong thing. It takes maturity to bite your tongue when your ego wants to roar. It takes discipline to choose peace over pride. And that's where the real power lies, not in proving your point, but in protecting your peace. Not in clapping back, but in rising above. So the next time you feel the urge to react, pause, breathe. Listen, remember who you are. You are not here to entertain every insult. You are not here to argue with every critic. You are here to walk in power. And sometimes the loudest move you can make is saying absolutely nothing at all. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where God is taking you. It's not your talent alone that will get you there. It's not your charisma, not your popularity, not even your connections. It's your discipline. Because purpose without discipline is a dream without direction. You can have the vision, you can speak the prophecy, you can feel the calling deep down in your soul, but if you don't discipline your actions, your emotions, and your mind, you will keep circling the same mount in year after year, wondering why nothing is changing. Let me tell you something, discipline is not glamorous. It's not loud. It doesn't post for likes or brag for applause. Discipline is quiet. It shows up in early mornings, in late nights, in saying no, when everything in you wants to say yes. Discipline is denying the urge to react emotionally and choosing instead to respond with wisdom. It's walking away from what feels good in the moment to preserve what is good for the future. And hear this, your destiny is too important to be delayed by undisciplined moments. Many of us are not being attacked, we're being distracted. Not destroyed, but delayed. And the thing standing between us and the next level is not always the devil sometimes. It's our lack of discipline. We keep trying to fight spiritual battles with emotional weapons. We keep praying for God to open doors we're not disciplined enough to walk through. But discipline prepares you, it builds you, it roots you, it grows you into the kind of person who can not only step into the promise, but sustain it when you get there. Discipline is saying, I don't need to react right now, I don't need to prove myself, I don't need to respond to every trigger, every insult, every temptation. I know who I am and I know where I'm going. When you live like that, you become unshakable. You stop chasing people and start chasing purpose. You stop living for validation and start living by vision. You don't let your emotions drive the car. You let your discipline hold the wheel. And hear me, there will be moments when discipline feels like dying. When your flesh screams for comfort, when your mind begs to retaliate, when everything in you wants to quit or compromise or cave in. But it's in those moments that you grow. It's in those quiet, private battles where nobody sees your sacrifice, where nobody applauds your restraint, that you are being shaped into someone who can carry the weight of glory. So don't despise the discipline, embrace it, because it is not punishment, it is preparation. Every time you choose discipline, you're casting a vote for your destiny. Every time you silence your reaction, you're gaining ground. Every time you walk away from what's beneath you, you rise into what's ahead of you. Discipline is not easy, but it is always worth it, and it will take you where emotion never could. You were not built to break. You were not crafted to collapse under pressure. You were designed with divine intent, constructed with purpose, and equipped with resilience. Don't let this world make you forget who you are. You were not made to bow to chaos or bend under criticism. You were not made to shrink to fit other people's comfort zones. No, you were built for more. There is greatness in you, and it's not waiting to be given. It's waiting to be unlocked asterisk. You've been living beneath your potential for too long because life told you to play small. Because people couldn't handle your light, you dimmed it. Because situations got heavy, you lowered your expectations. But the truth is, you're bigger than the box they put you in. You're stronger than the storm you're facing. You're wiser than the voices that tried to belittle your vision. You are not average. You are not ordinary. You are not random. You were built with intention, filled with destiny, and chosen for a purpose far greater than your pain. There is a reason the enemy fights you so hard. It's because of what's inside you. He's not attacking where you are. He's attacking where you're going. The pressure you feel isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of asterisk, wait, asterisk. You carry something valuable. You carry influence. You carry light. You carry impact. But you'll never walk in the fullness of it if you keep doubting the design. You see, when you finally realize you were built for more, your posture changes. You stop begging for acceptance. You stop needing permission. You stop reacting to every little thing that tries to distract you. Why? Because you've got somewhere to be. You've got a calling to fulfill. You've got seeds to plant, people to bless, territory to take. You're not here to survive. You're here to asterisk thrive asterisk. You're not here to impress. You're here to asterisk impact asterisk. And that means you don't have time to waste proving your worth to people who already decided to misunderstand you. When you know you were built for more, you protect your focus. You don't show up for every fight. You don't chase every opinion. You don't water down your gift to make others feel comfortable. You rise, you evolve, you elevate, because what's on your life requires you to live above the noise. And it's not pride. It's preparation. It's not arrogance. It's awareness. God didn't bring you this far for you to live small. He didn't gift you, grace you, and grow you just to keep you hidden. No, this is your season to stretch, to soar, to become. You were built for more, and now is the time to believe it, walk in it, and refuse to settle for anything less. Don't react to the limits others place on you. Control the narrative. Live like you know you were built for greater. Because you are. When you stop reacting to everything, you're not just choosing peace. You're choosing trust. You're saying with your silence, I believe God is still in control. You're declaring without words, I don't have to fight this one, because this one is already covered. When you learn to rest instead of react, you step out of panic and into purpose. And that's when things begin to shift. That's when heaven begins to move. That's when battles start being won not by your hands, but by His. Some of the greatest victories in your life won't come through your effort, but through your asterisk, restraint asterisk. Not because you're passive, but because you're asterisk, positioned asterisk, positioned in faith, positioned in trust, positioned in the knowledge that God sees all, knows all, and is working it all together for your good even when you don't see it, even when you don't feel it, even when it looks like everything is falling apart. That's not the time to react. That's the time to release. The problem is we've been conditioned to believe we have to respond to everything, to every insult, to every delay, to every challenge. But sometimes your strength is shown in what you asterisk, don't asterisk say. Sometimes your power is in what you asterisk, don't asterisk do. Because when you hold your peace, you make room for God's presence. When you stop trying to control every outcome, you allow the one who truly is in control to show you what real power looks like. Stop trying to fix what God has already handled. Stop trying to force what grace is meant to flow. You're exhausting yourself reacting to things that don't deserve a second of your time. Let it go. Let them talk. Let the delay happen. Let the door close. Because every no that comes from man can still be turned into a yes by God. And if He allowed it, He's using it. If He delayed it, He's developing you. If He closed it, He's protecting you. So, what are you worried about? You don't need to manipulate, chase, or explain. You need to trust. Trust that He's your defender. Trust that He sees what you can't. Trust that the battle is not yours. It belongs to Him. And when you live from that place of deep trust, you stop being shaken by surface noise. You stop being rattled by rumors. You stop being moved by things that don't matter, because your anchor is deep and your spirit is calm. You may not have control over the storm, but you do have control over your peace. And when your peace is rooted in trust, no wind, no wave, no word can steal it. So react to nothing. Not because you don't care, but because you care too much about what God is doing to be distracted by what the enemy is saying. React to nothing. Trust in everything, and watch the power of God take over where your reaction used to live.